Hey there. So you've learned a lot about different religions. Um, so I just kind of want to tell you just quickly about my personal experiences with different religions around the world. Back in 2013, I got this grant to travel around the world. So I left Battle Creek in end of June, I think, got back in October. So I was gone for 97 days, and I think I visited 37 cities, like 16 or 18 countries or something like that. Um, and I hadn't planned on it, but I got to experience a lot of religious things around the world, and so it kind of fit in here. So I just want to show you some of the pictures and stuff that I took, and some of the experiences that I had. So let me see if I can do this for you. There we go. Terms, religions, experiences. Yes. Um, so let's get started. Hopefully, this photograph looks somewhat familiar to you, but this is Vatican City. This is in Rome. Um, Obviously, the seat of the Catholic Church for many many centuries. Um, so this is the main cathedral right here. This is the square that you see the Pope driving through. I think over here is the Pope's apartment, but this Pope Francis, doesn't live in the apartment. He lives in just some normal room. Um, but obviously, as you go through the Vatican, and this is inside the chapel there. It's not a chapel. It's a what is it? It's a cathedral, is what it is. It's amazing inside. Obviously, you see this, and you feel the. Certainly, when you go in, you feel the spiritualness, the holiness of the place. Um, it's just amazing, and you see all of the power and the influence, and you feel that while you're at these places. This is the altar of the church. I love this. I love this part of it. Um, and you see all the cardinals and stuff around. There's so much great art as well in this place. This is one of the hallways in the Vatican City that leads you to the Sistine Chapel, which you're not allowed to take photographs in. That's why you don't see that. But certainly, while you're in the Sistine Chapel, you're not allowed to talk, or at least you can like whisper, but you can't talk out loud. And just being in that place and seeing that ceiling that Michelangelo painted, I mean, it's breathtaking. It's awe inspiring, and you really feel that in all aspects of the Vatican City. And not being a Catholic, I really didn't have any specific connections to the place. But you can't help but feel it. You can't help but feel that all the centuries of influence and power that this church has had throughout the world, both good and bad, is amazing. And you certainly feel the pressure, the weight of all of that when you're visiting. I also had a chance to go to Jerusalem, and this is Jerusalem right here. Um, Boy, I don't know what to tell you about this place. So this is the old city right here, the walled city. You can see the wall here, and it goes all the way around. This building over here is the Dome of the Rock. This is one of the holy places for Islam. This is where Muhammad was brought up to heaven, and there's a rock down in the basement of this building that is all black, like a volcanic rock. That's the point that Muhammad was standing when God brought him up. Allah brought him up to heaven. This is on the site of the Temple Mount. This whole part of the old city is called the Temple Mount, where the first Jewish temple was built and destroyed, and built again and destroyed. And now what remains there is the Western Wall, which is right here, of Temple Mount. This is a holy place for the Jewish faith, and you can see all of these people here praying at the Western Wall. I got to tell you, when I was here, and this is a photograph that I took I mean, you feel like um, uh, scared, kind of, like you're not supposed to be there. And being not Jewish, again, this really has no personal connection to me, but again, you can't help but feel the power and the significance and the importance of the Jewish faith and of this place um, in history. As you know, maybe from the Western Wall, people write prayers and thoughts and they stuff them into the cracks of the wall. You can see them all throughout here. I did not do that, but I did get a good look at the wall. This is Jerusalem. Um, you can see the streets now are filled. There's shops all over the place. This was our guide that took us through the city, but it was crazy as I walked through Jerusalem, walk through these streets, and you'll see some more of the streets. Oh, this is the gate that we went through outside of the walled city of Old Jerusalem. But these are like what some of the streets look like. Obviously built when there were no cars, but now you see things like electrical lines and stuff trying to make this a modern city. But while walking through, I just had this immense feeling like this is where like the people that I read about in the Bibles when I was a kid walked, and this is the holiness of this city. Um, there was also the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem that you were not allowed to take photographs in, but that's the place where you can go to the different stations of where Jesus was crucified, where his body lay and was taken care of, and then the tomb that he was put into where he was resurrected from. That's all like under one roof these days. And so I visited all of those places. And again, you feel the strength and the power of all of those places. And then I went to Istanbul, where I went to this mosque, the Blue Mosque, in the city. And I think it really was, it might have been the first mosque that I'd ever been in, but I don't remember. But again, when you look at this place, I mean, the power and the influence of the Muslim faith was quite evident in Istanbul. And you see these great buildings and the history and the architecture and the beauty of the Muslim faith here in the Blue Mosque. You kind of recognize again that there's some importance to this religion as well. And when you, here's a nice picture out of one of the windows, seeing all the spires of the mosques around Istanbul. And here's another mosque that it used to be a Christian cathedral, but is now a Muslim mosque. And you can see how beautiful and how huge it is compared. Let me look at the people down here and how big it is. And even I took a boat ride through the isthmus here in Istanbul, and all along the waterfront are mosques and spires. So you see them all over the place. This was my hotel in Istanbul, and I'm showing it to you because when I got to Istanbul, things were not like I remembered them in other places. And so it took me a while to figure out that it's an okay place to be. The first night I was trying to get out as fast as I can. I was checking flights and seeing if I can get out of there. But by the third night being in Istanbul, I didn't want to leave. But you can see this hotel was different than others. It had this beautiful courtyard that we would sit and drink coffee with other guests from around the world who were there. You can see there's my bed. Okay, it's not that nice. In fact, I had to swipe the ants off the bed from time to time, but it was still nice. Here's a street that was near my hotel that, restaurants and hotels all along, and people bustling about. It was quite exciting. It was a great place to be. And this was the street of my hotel. This is the hotel, and the little courtyard is right in here. So I guess what I want to tell you is, and leave you with this, is that all three of these religions had a huge impact on me, and I recognize the value and the importance of all of them as we study the history of the world and the impact that all three of these religions have on it. I kind of experienced it firsthand during my 97 days traveling around the world. I would love to tell you more about it. If you have any questions about any of those experiences, please let me know. But I guess thanks for watching and listening to my travel stories. And I will see you soon. Thanks.